Hogan's Heroes, a classic TV series that aired from 1965 to 1971, artfully blended the backdrop of World War II with comedic storytelling, focusing on a group of Allied prisoners in a German POW camp who consistently outwit their captors. Join Facts First as we present huge Hogan's Heroes secrets finally revealed. Reality turned fiction. Hogan's Heroes featured a fairly ironic twist when it came to casting. Some of the actors who played German officers were actually Jewish, with Werner Klemperer, who played the bumbling Colonel Klink, being the most notable example. Born into a prominent Jewish family in Cologne, Germany, Klemperer and his family fled the Nazi regime in the 1930s, resettling in the U.S. This background gave a unique layer to his portrayal, with Klemperer often stating that he took on the role only under the assurance that the Nazis would never be portrayed in a positive light. Stalag 13. The backdrop for the series, Stalag 13, exists only in fiction. But during World War II, there were actual stalags, which is short for Stammlager. These were German POW camps, primarily for non-commissioned officer enlisted personnel. Different stalags had different numbers, and while there was no 13, as depicted on the show, the use of the term was rooted in reality. The fictional nature of the camp allowed the show to take liberties with its depiction, blending comedy and wartime narrative. The Unseen Cigar. Colonel Klink was frequently shown with two distinctive accessories, a monocle and a cigar. Yet, for all the time he spent with the cigar, audiences never saw him actually light or smoke it. This unlit cigar became a subtle comedic element to his character. It could be interpreted in various ways, perhaps as a nod to Klink's inability to follow through, as a representation of his constant state of distraction, or simply as a quirky character detail to make him more memorable. Schultz's catchphrase. The beloved Sergeant Schultz, played by John Banner, is often remembered for his iconic catchphrase, "I know nothing, nothing." Surprisingly, this line wasn't originally scripted. It was during one of the episodes that Banner improvised the line, which was fitting for his character, a German guard who often turned a blind eye to the prisoner's schemes. The line became synonymous with Schultz's character, epitomizing his comedic and somewhat endearing unwillingness to acknowledge the antics happening right under his nose. French influence. Robert Clary, who masterfully portrayed Corporal Louis Lebeau, had a deep personal connection to the grim realities of World War II. Born in France, Clary is a Holocaust survivor, having endured the horrors of the Buchenwald concentration camp. This makes his role in a comedy set during the same war particularly poignant. On his arm, Clary had a serial number tattooed from his time in the camp, a permanent reminder of the atrocities he and millions of others faced. Mistakes on purpose. At first glance, some viewers might think Hogan's Heroes had several anachronisms, especially when it came to technology. It was not uncommon for equipment from the 1950s or 60s to appear in the series, which was set in the 40s. However, many of these errors were intentional and served comedic purposes. By incorporating these deliberate inaccuracies, the show played with historical authenticity in a way that kept the narrative light and humorous. Actor backgrounds. The portrayal of military characters in Hogan's Heroes was enriched by the real-life experiences of several main actors. Bob Crane, who played the titular Hogan, and Richard Dawson, who played Peter Newkirk, both had genuine military experience. Their personal knowledge of military life and discipline likely influenced their performances, adding a touch of authenticity amidst the comedic antics. It's a testament to the depth of talent in the cast that they could draw from real-life experiences, even in a comedic setting. Hidden reference. Sprinkled throughout some of the episodes is a wooden sign displaying various city names along with their distances. One of these cities is Hamelin, a likely nod to the famous folktale of the Pied Piper of Hamelin. It's a fun Easter egg for observant fans and showcases the show's love for inserting subtle references and winks to broader European culture and history. Hogan's full name. While most fans simply know the charismatic lead character as Colonel Hogan, his full name is actually Robert Edward Hogan. Throughout the show, the character is primarily addressed by his last name or his rank, consistent with military norms and practices. This naming approach serves dual purposes. It reinforces the military environment of the series, and it also creates a sense of camaraderie and familiarity among the characters. By occasionally revealing bits of personal information, such as Hogan's full name, the show gave depth and backstory to his characters. A loving nickname. James Kinchlow, often just referred to as Kinch, and played by Ivan Dixon, had a distinct relationship with Hogan marked by mutual respect. Kinch would often use the affectionate nickname Skipper when addressing Hogan. The moniker reflects the depth of their bond, suggesting a relationship that goes beyond mere comradeship to something more familiar. In the confines of a POW camp where trust was paramount, the use of nicknames was a subtle yet powerful way to showcase the closeness and trustworthiness of the core group. Musical talents. Bob Crane, who played Colonel Hogan, had talents that extended beyond acting. He was a skilled drummer, a craft he had honed long before his acting career took off. Hogan's Heroes occasionally showcased this musical prowess in various episodes, allowing Crane to integrate his real-life skills into his character. Double role. Bernard Fox showcased his acting versatility by taking on two distinct roles in the show. He played the clumsy and often clueless Colonel Crittenden and also played Captain Rodney. Testament to his acting abilities that he was able to differentiate the roles so effectively. Such casting choices might have been budget-driven or a playful nod for the audience, but either way, it heightened the flexibility and talent of the show's ensemble. Singer on set. Before making his mark as Peter Newkirk, and even before becoming a household name as the host of Family Feud, Richard Dawson had a successful career as a singer in the UK. His smooth voice and charming stage presence made him a notable figure in the British music scene. While Hogan's Heroes was primarily a comedic endeavor, the diverse background and skills of its cast members, like Dawson's singing prowess, added depth and variety to the show. Klink's hat. Colonel Klink's distinctive hat is an intriguing piece of wardrobe selection. While the show is set during World War II, the style of hat Klink often wore is more reminiscent of those worn by German military officers during World War I. This anachronistic choice may have been intentional, serving to emphasize Klink's out-of-touch and bumbling nature. Same set. Budgetary constraints and the practicalities of television production in the 60s meant that sets were often reused or adapted for multiple purposes. This was the case for Hogan's Heroes, where the same physical set served as both the exteriors and interiors of the barracks. When scenes shifted, wall segments were replaced or repositioned as required. Mysterious theme lyrics. The catchy and recognizable instrumental theme of Hogan's Heroes is known by many, but few are aware that there are actual lyrics to the song. Bernard Fine, one of the series' creators, penned the lyrics, though they were never used in the show. This hidden layer adds more mystique to the series. Now it's time to hear from you. Which of these facts did you find most surprising? Let us know in the comment section below.